it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today we're going to do another room tour. So as you may have seen, my massive video game collection in a whole separate area, I decided to show off this area as I have some more video game consoles and games up here, but I have tons of vintage 80s and 90s toys and figures ranging from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Mortal Kombat, Batman, Nickelodeon, and of course the list goes on. So let's go ahead and take a look at this insane collection. So a little bit of a recap, you'll notice in this room we have very limited space, but we have so much stuff jam-packed in here. So if you recall seeing a little room tour from before, you'll notice that I only had one full shelf full of my Batman figures, and then you'll notice that I had half of a shelf full of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. So this has completely changed, and I'm just so glad because I have really went out there and found some amazing deals on some of these toys from my childhood. So as you can see here on this first shelf, I did a whole separate video on this. This is my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection. So right here we just have some things that I'll go ahead and quickly note. We have these amazing suitcases from back in the day at the top. We have that April O'Neil watch still on the card, and it has not been opened up or used before. We have various figures up here. Tons are actually loose figures with their accessories, their weapons, and a lot of them are actually carded. So we have some of the original 10-back carded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection figures, and we have that Foot Cruiser complete in the box, that original box that goes with that figure, and that vehicle is just so awesome. So of course I had to have that one on display right at the front. Then as we drop it down, you'll notice we have tons of loose figures, loose vehicles. We have some more boxed vehicles as well, and more carded figures. A lot of them are actually unpunched as well, so they are just brand new in the packaging, never been displayed on a little hanger at the store. So that is definitely pretty sweet. Then we have tons of promotional items throughout this shelf, like this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the movie pin, this giant pin right here. We just have so many odd things as well. We have books, coloring books, story books, real magnets. We have a whole entire shelf that lifts up as well that has some more party favors and tons of figures. We have some of my favorites, these little rocking turtles. So we have all of these rock and roll figures, these rock and roll crossover turtles. And then we have some jigsaw puzzles with some beautiful artwork. Just the artwork alone on these boxes is really sweet. Then we even have some of the carded figures like this Toon Turtles. We have Toon Don, and a buddy of mine actually found it at a thrift store for $2.99. Can't believe that, as the figure goes for over $250, and then he sold it to me for about 20 bucks or so. So he made a profit, and then of course I got a deal of a lifetime. We have this Turtle Party Wagon. This is the Mutant Attack Van, and it has all of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle artwork and art styles on here. We have tons of the movie figures that you could have gotten at GameStop when they re-released those. They remade those, the NECA line. Then we have a signed turtle figure from Kevin Eastman. So that is just so awesome to have his autograph on some of these items here. And then of course some more movie turtles. We have some of the good and bad guys, and then we have some of the turtles. And then we have a 1988 original set. It was a new release that I also got at GameStop. So this is my massive turtle collection. Once again, I did a whole video on that, kind of detailing through each of the shelves and showing off some of the more expensive pieces. And then over here, we jump over into my Mortal Kombat collection. So of course, right up on the wall, I have this beautiful print that was actually signed by the artist at the Southeast Game Exchange that I went to. That is a crossover between Mortal Kombat and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that thing is just so beautiful, and it actually really ties together the room. Then as we drop it down, we have this beautiful Mortal Kombat store display cardboard standee, and that was for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So I love that game. I love how this is designed, the dark colors. Of course, we have Sub-Zero on there. We have Scorpion. So this is a beautiful standee, and I thought that it was very fitting to put in here on this little shelf area for these Mortal Kombat characters. So at the top, we have that amazing Super Nintendo fight stick, and that is actually signed by a lot of the actors who played in the Super Nintendo game. So I really like that piece up there because it's just something that you don't see. It's definitely one of a kind. It's a hard to find fight stick as is. And then we have a Super Nintendo game up there. We have Mortal Kombat, and of course that is also signed as well. We have some of those beer bottles that have the limited edition Mortal Kombat labels on them. We have a couple Mortal Kombat collector's editions at the top there. We have that Scorpion statue and the Scorpion head. We have some more collector's editions with that beautiful bookend of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. We have all of these newer released figures that I saw at GameStop. So I have a variety of them: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, a couple different variants. Then of course we have Johnny Cage, Raiden, and we just have some more kind of jam-packed. And then I have these pictures. They were mini photos that were given out for a pre-order bonus at GameStop, and I was able to get those framed. We have a slightly older figure of Raiden. We have some of these box sets right here. That one is a newer one with Raiden and Scorpion, ship right here. And then we have this really awesome medallion that I got in one of those BAM boxes, so I thought that this was really cool as a neat little accent piece. Of course, we have some G.I. Joe characters. Then we have this Jade figure for Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the Nintendo 64. So I thought that that was a really cool vintage style figure right there. And then of course, as we drop it on down, you'll notice that we have an entire shelf dedicated to Pokemon items. So of course, with those cereal boxes that they had, that Pokemon cereal, I decided I would try it. And then the same thing with that Lucky Charms box. It actually had some of those card packs in there. We have the Happy Meal boxes right there from McDonald's, because you could get those card packs in the Happy Meals. And this is the Pokemon Thundershock Challenge game. It has some beautiful artwork in there. And then as we drop it down, we have some Bucky O'Hare characters. We have a Bucky O'Hare VHS tape. We have another Pokemon VHS tape, another Pokemon figure with Pikachu and Ash. We even have some Toxic Crusaders figures, some Masters of the Universe as well, and then of course some Doug characters that I ended up finding. Some of those are some vintage figures right there from Disney / Nickelodeon. So I thought that that line, that full set of 4 of the Doug figures, was actually pretty cool. And then as we scoot on over to this side of the room, we have 2 more Billy bookcases. So these I actually wanted to display a little bit more of the items that I had, as I had much smaller bookcases and they just weren't working out because they only fit all of these Funko Pops on that little tiny shelf and nothing else. So as we start up at the top, we have some really awesome Spider-Man figures, these little Spider-Man statues. Some of them are much larger than the others, and we even have that really awesome Spider-Man Collector's Edition for the PlayStation 4. So I just love the Spider-Man characters up there, and I think that they really tie into this kind of superhero style that I have in a lot of the areas. Then of course we have all of these Funko Pops. We have the entire line of these DC Universe that they did with the Funko Pop little combo t-shirt packs. So of course I have all of the Batman characters up there. We have various versions as well. We have some different color variants. And then we have some of the others like Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash. So it's just kind of a mix of those little Funko Pop characters. Then we have a whole shelf here dedicated to Mortal Kombat. Then we even have a signed Funko Pop character of Sub-Zero for Mortal Kombat, and that is definitely pretty sweet because I did get that in one of those little BAM gamer boxes. And then we have this right here. We have this shelf which just is kind of jam-packed, just full of these 90s nostalgia items. So here we have Jingle All the Way. I love this Christmas movie. It definitely was a classic for me. And who didn't want Turbo Man? So here we have this newer release Turbo Man character that you could find at Walmart. And of course, I found one right around the holidays, and I had to add it to this shelf here with the VHS tape. So this is a beautiful Turbo Man character. It's very similar to the older style version one, and it's just so awesome. It has this little jetpack, electronic lights and sounds, and it even shows Baxter on there, so that is really cool. We have a few of these McDonald's glasses. I have some of the Batman ones, and then of course I have some of the Flintstones ones. So I'm still kind of working on some of these shelves. We have this VHS tape for the Flintstones, and then this little McDonald's under 3 Happy Meal toy that you could have gotten, along with this Flintstones alarm clock. So I thought that this was pretty cool as it has this kind of rock style, and it definitely has an older style to it of the Flintstones. So I figured that those would go great together. So if I rearrange some of these shelves, the more stuff that I get, I'll have to kind of keep some of these in sections. Of course, we have some Mighty Ducks. Right here, we have this Tiger Electronics handheld system, this little toy that you could have gotten back in the day. And then, along with E.T., we have this little figure. We have E.T. the VHS tape. And then we even have the Small Soldiers little command pack right here with this microphone. I actually found that one at Goodwill for just a few dollars in the costume section, and it's back in the day from the 90s, along with the Small Soldiers VHS tape. So this is kind of one of those trips down memory lane for me. And then I decided to have a full shelf dedicated to Nickelodeon stuff. So I actually have a couple of them, and then I have tons of Happy Meal toys. Then we move on to this Nickelodeon shelf. So right here I decided to kind of take over the rest of this area with just tons of Nickelodeon characters like SpongeBob, the Wild Thornberrys, we have the Rugrats, we have Ren and Stimpy, we have Cat Dog, just so many amazing characters and cartoons from back in the day. So here we have this Rugrats little hard plastic display. It used to actually have a bunch of stuff in there for a little activity set. We have some Tiger Electronic handheld games. We have Toy Tag for the Rugrats, and then this little Tiger Electronics handheld system. Some of these are from the Big Kids Meal, the Happy Meal toys. Some of them are from 5 and Below. They're kind of remakes of these older Hey Arnold characters and the Wild Thornberrys and so on. Then we have this really awesome Rocket Power alarm clock where it goes off, it plays music, and the characters move around. So I thought that that one was a pretty cool thing, as I remember seeing that back in the day. So that is definitely pretty sweet. We have all of these Happy Meal toys as well, some of those changeables. We have some Animaniacs characters and the Noid right here. And then as we drop it down, we have more Nickelodeon stuff. We have that Nickelodeon Time Blaster alarm clock, that Nickelodeon telephone, Nickelodeon walkie-talkie. We have some Real Monsters action down there. We have a Doug Tiger Electronics handheld, some Cat Dog, some Ren and Stimpy, And we even have tons of VHS tapes for the Rugrats and even the Wild Thornberries. And then at the bottom we have some Furbies, even those Happy Meal toys. We have some Barney characters and some Zoids that you could go ahead and build. It's complete in the box. So this is just my little trip down memory lane, and I'm striving to add more of this stuff to my collection. So hopefully next time you see a little tour update, I'll have tons more stuff, and then I'll have these shelves a little bit more packed and organized a little bit better. And then onto this shelf right here. This hasn't really changed a lot. We have that Batman Collector's Edition at the top. We have some statues. We have the Batman cereal at the top. And then we have tons of these Batman figures. We have the complete set of these Greg Capullo DC Comics characters that go through. And then it kind of alternates between the Arkham Knight figures as well, which I do have a full set, including the GameStop exclusives as well, and some of the harder ones that are difficult to find with this line right here. So this one really hasn't changed that much, but it's just a beautiful shelf full of Batman toys and some Batman figures that I first started collecting, and then this kind of helped inch me into collecting a lot more toys. And then as we push into this corner over here, you'll notice just a lot is going on. So we have this amazing Batman sign at the top. It's one of those canvas art styles, and I actually found it at Goodwill for a couple dollars, so I decided to hang it up right above the closet. And then we have all of those Mortal Kombat challenge coins that I did a video on back in the day. They're actually really neat, and someone actually created all of these of the different characters, so I decided to go for the full set of those and just have them up there on display. We have this huge cardboard standee of this Injustice 2 display. I actually have a smaller one on another shelf in the room, but this one is just a large, massive display that has a couple of the characters on it. And then in the corner we have this Batman cardboard display as well. This one is for Arkham City on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And then below it we actually have a couple of those vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy chests. And I have some of my overflow Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys in there. Just some more stuff that just wouldn't fit on that shelf. So over time, I'm sure that I'm going to have to take over another shelf or find another area to display some of these turtle toys. But this is definitely a pretty cool little area, as behind it, we have so much stuff inside of that closet. So I'll have to get a pan over that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, because that's where I actually keep all of my Xbox One and PlayStation 4 games, along with some PC games. And then onto this wall. So unfortunately, I have a window on this front wall, so it actually takes up a lot of room. But I decided that I'm not going to let it get in my way. So we have some pictures kind of all around the actual wall that's up there of Spiderman, Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have these little VHS tape holders right here on both sides. So of course I have some of the classics like Back to the Future, Jurassic Park. We have some Star Wars. We even have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mortal Kombat, some more Batman, just various VHS tapes that definitely bring me back. And then up here on top of this huge Star Wars standee that actually lights up, I kind of have it, the sensor a little bit hidden. So this is this massive Star Wars Battlefront display standee. This thing was a pain to fit in the vehicle, and I had to take this plastic piece off. There is cardboard on the back. And then at the top we have this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Pizza Toss. So this is one of those vintage tic-tac-toe tosses. I just love the box for its art. It's so bright, it's so vibrant. Definitely a really cool piece to add to my vintage TMNT collection. So that is pretty sweet. We have some more artwork, some Power Rangers artwork, Spider-Man, and then of course some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We even have this giant turtle right here, which has a little storage section in the back, so I have some more loose figures in it, because I just have them everywhere and it's kind of taking over. So this is definitely a pretty cool little area here that I decided to make the most with, since this room is a little bit tight and I just keep expanding, I keep growing and adding more cool stuff. And then onto this section over here, we actually have an entire Batman shelf with some Power Rangers at the top. So of course we have some of those smaller figures for Power Rangers. We have some of those little cake toppers. We got a whole pack of those at this vintage toy store that I went to. Even this Battle Toss up there. I decided to get the Power Rangers little tic-tac-toe Battle Toss set as well, just for the box and art style. We have that Tiger Electronics handheld system for Power Rangers. We even have a 3-piece children's dinnerware set that I found for free in a little box that someone was giving away. And then we have that little locker bag up there for the Power Rangers. I thought it was pretty neat, as I do have one for the vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. Then I also have those little banks up there, so those are little coin banks. And then we have all of these Batman figures. We have these collector's edition statues for a variety of the games. Arkham City, Arkham Knight, just some other games. And then we have some figures as well. And then we have on the bottom shelf there, we have another statue, an entire Batmobile that does smoke. It has this video component where you can record where you're going. You can kind of see everything as well from your phone while you're using the app, and you control it that way. It's really awesome, and it has this cool little smoke kind of style to it, along with these missile launches and everything else. So that thing is actually really cool, and I'm so glad that I scored that one at GameStop when it went on clearance for about $40. And then onto this section over here. So this is across from the closet and across the room. We actually have this huge Batman display up here. I actually put those pieces of canvas together. I built little frames, and I put up all 5 of those panels next to one another to make this gigantic display of Batman. We have this little Batwing light over here. We have my entire PC set up with this Secret Lab Batman chair. So as you can tell, I just kind of went overboard with this area and put a touch of Batman on it. So we have my monitor, we have my TV, we have the computer, we have pretty much everything here, and of course it flashes all kinds of colors. So this is actually where I do a lot of my editing and streaming when I actually do play some of the games. And this is actually a neat little area here. So this is what you guys may have already seen in one of the previous videos, but of course you'll notice that everything else around the room has actually changed. So this is one of my favorite areas to be in, just because it is jam-packed with so many items that I remember from my childhood. So of course, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this room. Did you see the original tour that I did a few years ago when I actually just moved in and only had a few shelves in here? Did you recall seeing a lot of this stuff then? What was your favorite part of this entire room? Did you like all of the Batman figures, the Spiderman, the Power Rangers, or was it Mortal Kombat, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or did you like my newest recent edition of all of that Rugrats and Nickelodeon stuff? Did you like all of those vintage items? What do you remember from back in the day? Did you get some of these figures from those Happy Meals, or did you get some of these in little play sets? Just let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, go ahead and check out my other videos, and stay tuned for more.